Yo, what's up, everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and today I've got another portfolio update for you all, just sharing my thoughts about the market and everything along those lines. And as always, if you do enjoy these videos, please be sure to drop a like, smash that like button. You all went crazy on the last video, and I really do appreciate the support and love. It really does mean a lot, and it motivates me to keep doing these videos. But aside from that, today we had a pretty rough stock market day. As you can see, it started out at a pretty low point in the pre-market. We were down 1.67%. Actually, let's go ahead and look at VOO for a more accurate representation. In the pre-market, we were down 1.71%. And by the way, if you're new, VOO basically mirrors the general stock market trend, at least in my opinion. But at 9 a.m. during pre-market, it was down 1.71%. Then at 9:30, once it entered into the normal market hours, we were down 1.48%. And then about up at lunchtime, midday at 12 p.m., or 11:40 a.m. It almost recovered to baseline and we were at minus 23%, but unfortunately towards the end of the day it started lowering back down to that initial point right here, and we actually went even lower than the 9 a.m. pre-market hours, I believe, by the end of the day at 6 p.m. So I believe this is a little bit lower, but anyways, right before the end of the market day, the normal market day, we were down 1.65%, well actually 1.80% total, and then we're plus 0.21% in the aftermarket hour. So it bumped a little bit up after 4 p.m. But in total, after everything's said and done, including both after hours and today, we are at a minus 1.59% for VOO, which is actually a pretty significant drop day if you ask me. I know this doesn't seem irregular given the volatility that we've seen recently, but let's say like 12 months ago or 16 months ago, this would be a huge deal, at least in my opinion. Just because 1.59% drop days do happen, of course they do happen, but before all of this, it seemed to be on more rare occasions. So during time periods before this, people did get worried over drop days like this, and although I do think that some people are still worried about this anyways, given that we've sort of had that whole conversation about whether the market is inflated and when it's eventually going to start falling again, I think people are getting a little nervous maybe with today, especially with it being on a Monday. We have 4 more days for the rest of the week for the market to potentially drop. Now, I do think there are going to be maybe some green days, but it is sort of a good question to ask yourself, is this maybe the start of a recession? And I think it's a little bit too early to speak too soon on that one. I think we have to see a few more days after this, maybe tomorrow and the next day and Thursday even, and if all of those days are red as well, then I do think there is some cause for worry, at least in my opinion, because especially considering that if we take a look at my portfolio, the market has almost rebounded back to the initial high points on February 19th. So now that we are back at this higher point, it does make me wonder what is going to happen into the future, because I'm honestly clueless. I can't predict what is going to happen. I mean, obviously I can predict, but that doesn't mean it's going to be correct. So I can sort of guess what is going to happen just from my intuition and what is happening in the news right now, but it doesn't mean that I will be accurate. But like I've said in many videos before, I do think that the worst is still to come, at least in my opinion. I honestly don't think that this is the bottom right here, just because there's so many people out there drawing unemployment. And the really interesting thing about that is there's a lot of people that have jobs that are not actually even paying as much as the self-employment payments are, because I think unemployed people are getting much more higher payments than before given this whole situation. I think they add on like an extra $600 onto the normal unemployment payment. And honestly, there are people out there, especially those that are self-employed, and especially due to the whole situation right now, they may not be earning as much, and there's certainly going to be more people out there that will be drawing unemployment, and that is certainly going to have a negative impact on our economy. If there's so many people that are unemployed and our government is having to pay them, then that's certainly going to negatively affect the economy. And obviously people out there, they have to draw unemployment or they wouldn't be able to survive, so it's necessary. But unfortunately, that's just the situation. We are seeing a record number of people that are losing their jobs right now and drawing unemployment, and I think that's going to negatively impact the economy. And there's also going to be the inflation issue where we're giving out all of these stimulus checks, the government has to give out money for people being unemployed, and there's so many issues right now that are causing the government to print more money than ever. And I think that just given all of those circumstances and the fact that the market does seem, at least in my opinion, to be a slight bit inflated, it just seems a little bit strange that we have already rebounded when the current situation has not even been over with yet, or not even close to over with. But the fact that the market has almost rebounded back to where it was, and it's even past my baseline investment already, which was in December, that is a little bit strange, and I'm certainly being cautious right now. That's why I'm not purchasing any stocks. I'm letting my money sit on the sidelines right now. As they say, cash is king, and I do believe that it's important to have a little bit sitting on the sideline, especially in situations like this where you want to be a little bit cautious. And by the way, everything that I say in this video is not to be considered financial advice whatsoever. It's simply me sharing my thoughts and opinions about the market and the moves that I'm making. And speaking of the moves that I'm making, I need to go ahead and show you all what I gained for each individual stock that I hold. Basically, my main 4 holdings right here. Everything else has been just free stocks. But as you can see with VOO, we are minus 1.48% for today, and that's minus $457. We are down $3,591, which is minus 10.57%. Honestly, that could be a lot worse, and I'm pretty satisfied with how it is currently. I could definitely see that being a lot worse than what it is already, so I do have to be thankful for that. The fact that the market has already recovered a lot, and with Microsoft, we are minus 1.65%, and that's minus $286. We're still up 10.46%, or $1,613, which I'm very satisfied with. I love Microsoft. I've been preaching about it forever. And if you've seen my other videos, you already know how I feel about it. And then Apple, we are minus 1.79%. And that is minus $212. And I'm pretty satisfied with Apple as well. We're minus 2.87% overall, which is just minus $344. That could honestly be so much worse. But thankfully, Microsoft did pretty well for me within the past 4 months or so. I think I invested in December right here. It did pretty well since then, so I'm very satisfied with how it's performed so far. And thankfully, all of that growth in between December and the crash really helped the crash not be so bad, I guess, since it grew so much within that time period. And then with Tesla, of course, it was finally due. I think it was about time that Tesla had a negative day. It's been on such a consistent bull run that I'm not even surprised at this point. I feel like it just had to happen. And it was minus $43 today, or minus 0.71%. We're only negative 505 in the hole on Tesla, and that is minus 7.78%. So not too bad, honestly. And like I said earlier, you can never really predict the market. I can just give my predictions, and that doesn't mean I'm going to be accurate. Obviously, I'm hoping that we don't have another crash or a recession, because I would love to see my portfolio gain in value. But I am being cautious currently, and I think that is important sometimes, to just keep your head on a swivel and just be ready for anything. So that's why I'm keeping my cash on the sidelines currently, and only time will tell what will happen. But I just wanted to share a quick little portfolio update for you all, and I do hope you enjoy these videos. I feel like I do repeat myself sometimes, but it's kind of hard to think of new things to talk about when I'm just updating my portfolio and saying similar things to what I've already said before. But I hope you all do enjoy me just simply sharing my gains and losses for the day. I feel like a lot of people out there can maybe identify with me a little bit with my portfolio, since some people have similar investments. And I think it's important for me, especially to showcase like the negative days, so everyone realizes that it's not just people making so much money in the market right now, and that they're not alone in losing a little bit. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you want to support future videos like this or just start investing, feel free to use my referral links to Robinhood and Webull down in the description and the top of the comment section below. You'll get a free stock when you sign up, and I think with Webull you'll get 2 or 3 free stocks right now, so that's pretty awesome, and I've actually been getting some good stocks with Webull currently. So feel free to do that, and make sure to smash the like button on this video. I really appreciate all of the love lately, and I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. Stay safe out there.